This week's episode is sponsored by Helio Gas Detection. Hey everyone, this is Letty for the Smashing Skulls sessions. I'm joined by Viktor from Demersal. Viktor, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm all good, just back from work, so ready to have a little chat.
That's good.
Uh, to our listeners who maybe haven't heard of you guys before, could you introduce yourself and your role in the band?
Yeah, we have a band called Demersal, which is kind of a hardcore screamo-ish band, but we like to combine a lot of different kind of music together, I would say. And my role in the band is to play the guitar and scream into the microphone. Yeah,
Play guitar and scream into the microphone. What a role.
yeah, yeah. Primarily, at least, yeah.
Your debut self-titled album was out the 10th of May. How was the recording process for it?
It was pretty good actually. We recorded most of the record live in the studio, like all the guitar and bass and drum parts we recorded together live in the studio. And then after that, we had a lot of time where we recorded the vocals ourselves and then extra instruments such as piano and cello and flute and trumpets. And we also made some techno parts and acoustic guitar parts and a lot of different things that we recorded like afterwards. And then we combined everything together and sent it to Peter Hove, who also recorded the live recordings. Then he mixed everything. Yeah, so it's been pretty cool. And also, I think Peter took a pretty huge role in the producer took a pretty huge role in the whole recording process, but also the mixing process, and had a lot of like ideas for it. It kind of felt like the first time we also was like working with a producer, not just an engineer, and that was pretty fun to do, I think.
Your
So
first
yeah.
experience was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we usually just have like a person who's more like just an engineer, and then we kind of have all the ideas by ourselves. But this time around, we had like another guy coming up with like, yeah, alternatives to things we wrote and stuff like that, and that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Do you have a favorite memory from the recording process?
Um, I think the most fun part was to record everything live. That was also like a first time we did that, which usually we have like done thing in layers, like drums first and then guitars and then bass and stuff. But this was the first time we kind of like went together and tried to like capture, I think, the kind of live essence we have when we play together as a live band, which is where I think we like uh, is the best version of ourselves in a way. So I think yeah, doing everything live was a pretty cool experience, and yeah, and also just to have the freedom, I guess, to sit down and record all the vocals by myself and really just have the time to do it during the summer, and having a lot of breaks in between where I went to the jazz like at Aarhus Jazz Festival, and so I was screaming into the microphones for hours, and then like during the summer in a very small room, and it was all like red in the head and upset, and then I went out in the street um, to listen to a lot of jazz and drink beers, and then I went back to the studio, and yeah, it was a
Two two different
stressful
worlds.
and but also really nice experience to just have the time to have all the breaks I need and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
for the live recording, would you guys play the song in full or just do bits and take the best takes?
Mostly we did the songs in full, but sometimes there was kind of a natural break in the middle of a song or something like that, and then we would like stop and take the rest. And I think a few times we kind of uh, mashed something together, but mostly we did everything like in one take.
That's pretty cool. And the artwork for your album is really cool. How did you
Oh,
come
thank
up with
you.
the artwork for it?
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good question. We made the artwork ourselves, or Jonas and Sebastian from the band did it, and I think we were really like confused about what we should do, and had a lot of different ideas. I think we started out having a lot of um, like combined pictures of nature in a lot of weird ways. And then we had yeah, a lot of different ideas, but then but we ended up having just like this the portrayal of me and Emil from the band, like being supporting each other in a way, and then having all these like nature elements around it. Yeah, we just ended up with that, but I can't remember how we ended there because I think we had like 10 or 20 ideas before this idea. And but I think it was important for us to kind of like have this portrayal of nature in the background, and then having this kind of um uh, picture of people supporting each other in a way, because that was kind of like huge concepts of the songs on the record.
You could interpret it as we support nature and nature supports us.
Yeah, I just there's a lot of kind of climate change thematics on the record, and then also there's a lot of like um, themes about like being there for each other, especially in times of crisis, like the climate crisis or other kinds of crises in the world. But yeah, you could also say like we need to kind of have the same care and support on the nature as we have on each other. So yeah, yeah, that's also a thing.
That's pretty cool. Do you have a favorite song you like playing off the album live?
Um, yeah, I think the last one is really nice to play live. Um, we had like 3 shows where we played the entire record live, like 3 release shows, and it's really yeah, it feels very emotional when with the last song on the record. It kind of like I think it captures pretty good all the themes on the record, and it's just a very emotional song, but also a very, I think, loving and beautiful song. So really, there's a lot of like I feel a lot of emotional depth to it when playing live, I think.
That's pretty cool. If you could collaborate with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, like personally or in the band.
Personally, it doesn't have to be with the band, so
Okay. Uh, or we could also yeah I think we would like in the band to like collaborate with people outside of hardcore and metal because that's pretty fun. Um, I would like to collaborate um, with I think Phil Elverum from Mount Erie, because I think he's a very inspiring musician. And also on this record, especially on the lyrics, he inspired me a lot. And yeah, that could be a nice. I also just he seems like a very nice human being. So I think that would be like a very wholesome and nice experience.
that's always plus points when they seem nice. So
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, most important part of it.
exactly. And if you gel like creatively as well, it's always adds plus as well.
Yeah, and also I think I would like to collaborate with Floating Points, just to have some like experimental electronic music collab or something. I really dig a lot of his work as well. Maybe.
That'd be that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Demersal is a really cool name, that's what drew me to you guys first. Is there a story behind how the band got the name or
Um, we had a lot of like weird, very bad names before Demersal. And no, I think the story is just it seemed like a nice short word that was easy to remember, and that was kind of the most important part of it. So for us, like Demersal just means it's just a name, but I mean it's it means like a depth in the ocean. Like the second lowest layer of the ocean is called demersal, but it's not. I mean, the meaning of the word is not so important for us in the band. It's mostly just a word that we agreed on. Yeah,
It sounds cool, so why not?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite album releases of 2024 so far, or any that you're looking forward to, or
Um, yeah, I really like the new Infant Island record,
I'm not
and
familiar with them.
no, that's a really like kind of also a screamo emo violence kind of band. On
Emo
the
violence. I've never heard of that genre.
no, there's also very kind of it's just like I think emo violence is kind of a combination of power violence and then emo, and so I don't know. It's just very fast, aggressive music, but in a very emotional way. I guess that's just the meaning of it. But um, yeah, I really like that album, and I like the new Viva Belgrado. I don't know if I pronounced correctly, but it's kind of a Spanish kind of emo band as well. And then the new A Crippling Alcoholism record, which is I really highly recommend that record. It's kind of noise rock, gothic kind of record, and it's really nice. I mean, it's actually really disturbing, but also really beautiful at the same time. So I would highly recommend that record as well.
All the happy bands we've got emo violence and
Yeah, I mean, I don't want like I don't like to be like a genre police or anything, so it doesn't matter what you call it. For me, it's just I don't know, hardcore, whatever.
emo violence. That's brilliant. I need to
Yeah,
check that out.
yeah.
And we're on to our last question. Do you have any advice for anyone wanting to start a band in 2024?
Um, let's see. Yeah, I think just to not be afraid to do a lot of different stuff, really. I think a lot of time, also bands that have been together for a long time tend to be very insecure about what they can do in the band and what kind of genre or framework they have to like work within. And I think that's very limiting. I think yeah, just to kind of combine whatever they kind of get inspired by music or art or whatever, and just try to kind of yeah stuff it together in a lot of different ways. I think that's a lot more fruitful than trying to kind of um, write in a very specific genre of music the way you think you should do it. Um, so I just think to be open and daring, I think that's maybe keywords for me at least, being in a
Just
band.
experiment and have fun with it.
Yeah, I also have fun with it. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. Yeah.
Because if you don't have fun, what's the point?
Yeah, yeah. And also if you don't have fun or feel inspired while writing, then it would probably be very difficult for you to write anything. If you like have an idea of what it should be beforehand, then it's um, very often very difficult to write anything, really, I think. So yeah, have
Exactly.
fun and get inspired. Listen to a lot of music as well. I think that's the most important role you can have as a musician or songwriter is just kind of to listen to a lot of different music, really.
Take
Yeah.
influences from everything. Take a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's very nice.
Awesome. Victor, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was
No
nice.
problem. And the band's self-titled Demersal is out now.
It is.